Your challenge will be to cook a 3-course meal for some mystery diners using the best tech you can get your hands on.
To prepare you for this task, we've enrolled you on a lunchtime shift in one of the UK's most gadgety professional kitchens. And your shift starts now.
I am so bad at cooking.
Can't we have lunch first?
With barely an hour before the arrival of the first paying customers, chef patron Zach Baines needed us to know the kitchen drill if this wasn't all going to go disastrously wrong.
Hello!
Hey guys, welcome to the kitchen.
How you doing?
Hi,
How are you? All right?
Yeah, good. We're very
Excited?
excited. Yes!
Well, hopefully you're going to see some gadgets that are going to help you with your challenge. Obviously, you're working for me now.
Right.
You're late, so let's get your whites on and hurry up. Let's go.
Strictly. I've only just got here.
We had to walk straight into a kitchen that was already in full swing and help prepare the exacting lunch menu, a blend of haute cuisine and sci-fi gastronomy to serve to his valued customers. Time was tight, so while Otis was put straight to work on the main dish, I was with head chef John on the desserts, starting with a rhubarb dish cooked in a Gastrovac pressure cooker.
It's a pressure cooker that cooks under vacuum. So what that gives you is it will give you a raw textured fruit, in this case rhubarb, with a cooked taste.
The Gastrovac's vacuum allows food to be cooked for longer at a lower temperature. Also, the pressure can be suddenly released to allow the food to suck in moisture from the stock, known as the sponge effect.
So it's going to be quite hard. It's not going to be mushy.
We're just going to go for a nice, sort of like, got a little bit of bite to it.
Meanwhile, Sat was introducing me to the concept of sous vide cooking to prepare the main course of roe deer. Sous vide is French for under vacuum and involves vacuum sealing the meat in an airtight bag.
Perfect. Wow. OK, we need to get into the bath now.
Then poaching it in a temperature-controlled water bath. This allows the meat to retain its moisture and texture. If making food at home was this techie all the time, I'd spend a lot more time in the kitchen. With the first guest now arriving, there was just enough time for Sat to run through the soup starter we'd be serving within minutes. We used a soda siphon containing a nitrous oxide canister which aerates the pureed soup into a light mousse.
So again, you don't need a lot because it's very rich. It's got this lovely velvet texture to it. Finish with a bit of crouton, some bacon.
All this tech had us thinking about what gadgets we could use in our challenge. But for now...
With my lack of cooking skills, I was going to need some serious gadget help to make that menu palatable for our mystery diners. Does it all for you.
And while I was quite confident in my cooking ability, if I needed to use gadgets, I wanted tech that would speed me up and not hinder me.
So, having assembled the tech that would hopefully save our bacon, it was time for some hands-on testing.
I don't normally use gadgets in the kitchen, but hopefully these are going to make me quicker and speed up my preparation of the meal. OK, peas.
I started with, well, the starter. To help make the minted pea soup, I've got myself a super-fast blender. The Kenwood Multi-Pro XL has 1200 watts of blending power, and with 55 functions, it can help with a lot more than soup.
Wow, it's so quick. Normally that would have taken me, like, 20 minutes to have reached this point, saving me loads of time. Just hope it tastes good.
Meanwhile, I was getting busy with my steak. Some horse and pepper. I'd taken my inspiration from Zach Baines and gone for the vacuum-sealed approach. So after sucking the air from the vacuum bag, I popped my steak into the world's first domestic water bath. Just like its professional counterpart, the Sous Vide Supreme allows you to slow cook food at an accurately controlled temperature. Right, that's going to cook for 60 minutes, although I can leave it for up to 8 hours. Now, the advantage of cooking using this way is it will lock in the flavours. And I had high hopes for my automated solution for the soup, too. OK, now, this bad boy is perfect for an inept cook like me. You just chuck all the ingredients in, set it to simmer, and you've got the finished product after half an hour. The Cuisinart soup maker not only blends with a 500-watt motor, but also cooks thanks to the heated element.
Blend, I tell you.
I, on the other hand, was hoping to save time in the potato department with a handheld chipper.
Despite the fact that this is quite physically demanding, it is still quicker than cutting them by hand, honestly.
And to fry my chips, I had the versatile Morphy Richard IntelliChef. It's supposed to be the Swiss Army knife of slow cookers.
Meanwhile, my automated soup was ready. It tastes all right. Tastes like peas. I just need to add a bit more mint and maybe a little bit more creme fraiche. Other than that, oh, and some salt and pepper. Put some more ingredients in it, basically. But it doesn't taste awful. And my vacuum-packed steak had worked too. Finished, techie style, of course. Okay, so probably a little overdone. Let's taste it. That ain't bad.
Me and my cooking gadgets hadn't exactly hit it off, but I'd found an interesting solution for my ice cream. The ice cream ball can be filled with ice, cream and sugar, and then, well, you just shake it. And shake it. And shake it some more until all the ingredients are blended together.
How mad is this?
Of course, I wanted to put as little effort as possible into my cooking, so I'd got a fully automated ice cream maker. The Magimix Gelato Chef has a built-in freezer, so it stirs and chills your ice cream, leaving you free to do something else. In my case, that was the ice cream dance. And it tasted pretty good too.
My ice cream did need a lot more shaking, but...
That's weirdly very nice.
We took our gadgets to a cooking school in central London, ready to face our date with culinary destiny.
As a self-confessed non-cook, I had lots of automated tech.
While as I could cook, I'd chosen gadgets designed to speed me up, and our challenge was to prepare a 3-course menu for 3 mystery judges.
Hello, Susie and Otis.
Hello.
Meet my fellow diners for this challenge. Top chef Aldo Zilli.
Yes.
And top food writer Nicola Whiteford.
Welcome, thank you very much.
We're each expecting a 3-course meal. And it had better be good, because he's very picky, she's even pickier, and I'm very hungry.
OK.
Let's get to it. We had 2 hours to get it all together. Our menu of minted pea soup, steak frite and chocolate cake with ice cream would need to be spot on. But under pressure, would our tech be of any help? Here we go.
I was feeling reasonably confident as we began on the desserts.
And although I had confidence in my tech, I wasn't so sure when it came to judging ingredients like the chili for the ice cream.
With the clock ticking, I set about making the cake recipe the proper way.
12 egg whites. You seem ever so relaxed, like everything's going beautifully.
But then I noticed Otis had a packet mix in his hands.
You're not serious with that?
No, of course not, Sis. I was
Not really using a cake mix, are you?
No, I'm looking at the ingredients used in the cake mix here, and then I'm going to replicate them. And
cheating from Cheatsville.
OK, so I was cheating a little bit, but I can't cook. And I still had to do the mixing part myself, although I was using the multi-talented Kenwood Cooking Chef, which has an induction-heated mixing bowl that cooks and stirs.
This is the most exciting part of my chocolate cake. Coming up, the oven.
The De Dietrich oven is a former Gadget Show test winner with an intelligent control system that calculates weight and density to choose the ideal setting for your dish.
That little brain in that oven is going to work it all out and tell you how much moisture's in the cake and cook it accordingly. Get thinking, cooker.
Luckily, there didn't seem to be much intelligence involved in my cake baking. Oh, hell no, that ain't nowhere near done. Look at that! So, just gonna leave it in there for longer. I put my chips on in a Tefal Actifry, which allows you to make chips with just a spoonful of oil. But I'd made a stupid mistake. I didn't realise the oil had to go on the chips rather than hovering uselessly above them in a small green spoon.
My Merlot and pepper sauce was coming along well, but with much less automated tech than Otis, my worry was that I wouldn't get the whole menu cooked before time was up.
All I had to do now was load up another bit of tech, the IntelliSteam. So I can cook up to 3 different dishes in and set separate timers for each compartment, and it'll all be finished at the same time. To try and save the chip situation, I poured the oil halfway through, straight onto some very hot potatoes.
So we're going on with the steak.
Bring my steak out. I'd killed my chips! Listen, Man, it's horrible. Well, at least they matched the steak.
For a final flourish, I decided to try Sat's soda siphon trick on my pea soup. Ooh.
Service!
Service!
So, time was up, and our judges were waiting. But would my gadget-assisted cuisine fire up their taste buds, or would Otis's fully automated fare prove to be the dish of the day?
I think there's a difference in presentation. This one looks quite well put together. This one looks a little bit disgusting.
They look like they'd just been on the floor and been put back on the plate.
As we looked on nervously from behind the glass, our judges tucked in.
Definitely tastes better than it looks.
I know. This is a potato that's been cremated to death.
They scrutinised our cooking and sampled everything.
The sauce is not bad.
Tastes more like chips than those ones do.
It's actually rather good.
It is good.
Wow! That was a spectacular finish to this week's challenge. I really enjoyed it. But, you know, ultimately, it's all about the results, isn't it? And so we now go to this piece of paper. We're talking about the first course of 3. And the result is an interesting result. They didn't like the techie froth. They went for your soup, Otis.
Yes!
So victory goes to Otis's starter.
Thank you.
The main course, though, I guess it was a toss-up between dead finger chips or the more standard and very well presented fare from Susie's Corner, and not surprisingly Susie secured victory for the main course. So it all came down to your desserts. Okay, 2 slightly different approaches. There was the approach where you actually used real ingredients versus the approach where you got something out of a packet. And interestingly, possibly based on their ignorance to your strategy, the judges went for Otis's dessert.